All right, let's talk about the Kansas City Chiefs, your back-to-back reigning Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs, as we are legally required to say. They are unbeaten, clearly the best team in football. It's been close, but they're showing exactly why they're once again the favorite to win another title, an unprecedented three-peat. But their performance on the field on Sundays and sometimes Monday nights, like we saw a few short days ago, is obviously a big part of it, but it's what they do before the game. It's the strategies they use and the moves they make, specifically in the front office. These are the kind of moves that fly under the radar that show exactly why the Chiefs are the cream of the crop. Exciting report out of Kansas City. I'm Nick, and this is Saturday Morning Inspection. All right, obviously the Chiefs, they're the favorite to win another title. They're heading, it seems, on an unstoppable path towards a three-peat. They made a lot of big moves. Of course, the addition of DeAndre Hopkins, the wide receiver, prior to the trade deadline a few days ago, made headlines. But what was missed was a smart under-the-radar move they did in terms of opening up some salary cap options, and that involves offensive tackle Jawaan Taylor. Let's pull up this report courtesy of SI.com. On Saturday, Taylor spoke to the media and was asked how his conversation with the team went when he was approached about the restructuring and why he agreed to adjust the deal. I'm a team first guy, so anything to help the team win or help the team become better, I'm willing to do that, Taylor said. So it wasn't really much of a conversation. I just had to make it happen. And when it was presented to me, it wasn't even a thought. I was just willing to help the team. That's special stuff right there. Taylor's restructure reportedly created $5.3 million in 2024 cap room as KC prorated that portion of his salary into a signing bonus, spreading out the annual $1.325 million over the next 5 years, according to SpotTrack. Great website, by the way. By having his contract restructured as the Chiefs created salary cap room to make space for newly acquired wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins, as well as pass rusher Joshua Uche, while still retaining a bit of functional cap space for other roster maneuvering throughout the remainder of the season. Look, this is what the Chiefs have done better than anybody else. They've been able to make smart moves. They're not mortgaging their future. They're getting players to buy into the title window and allows them to make more additions like we saw over the past week or so. This is just why the Chiefs are clearly a favorite. Miles, I know you got some thoughts on this, but first, Kansas City fans in the comment section below, look, you're undefeated, right? It hasn't been pretty at times, but you're clearly the best team in football. Outside of Mahomes, who would you say is your MVP of the season up to this point? There's been a lot of guys stepping up, some on offense, some on defense, but I'm going to make you pick only one. Give us your MVP of the Kansas City Chiefs up to this point and put them in the comment section below. But Miles, what are your thoughts on this latest Chiefs news?
Yeah, Nick, for me, MVP is easy. And you look at this story, it's got to be the front office. The things that they've been able to do with this team really have been quite impressive. We see they had a need on offense, they get a wide receiver. They had a need on defense, they get a pass rusher. But how are they able to do that? They're able to come in here and do something very reminiscent of the Patriots dynasty of old. They're able to go to players on this roster and say, hey, well, in Taylor's case, he wasn't losing any money, so it wasn't anything crazy. But, we need you to kind of help us work things around. You need to help you work with us, be a team first guy, as Taylor said that he was. We need you to do some things to help us make this team better. And it seems like guys on this Chiefs organization, they're willing to do whatever it takes with the front office to get this team in the best spot possible. They've built a culture there, very reminiscent, like I said, of those Patriots dynasties of old. Guys like Jawaan Taylor coming out here saying, I'm a team first guy. Whatever I need to do to help this team win, I think that's what I'm going to do. And I love that because how do you get there first? You got to win. You got to be able to put the proofs in the pudding. It seems easy, but this is something that the Chiefs have built up to over time. The Panthers can't come to guys right now and say, hey, I need you to restructure your contract. They'll be like, kick rocks, either trade me or let me get out of here. But the Chiefs, they've built this culture. They've started this thing off right. They started winning. And now they're in a spot where guys are like, hey, we realize something special is going on here. So we're willing to do whatever it takes to get this team in the best spot possible to win more championships in the future.
Miles, and none of this happens in a vacuum. This is all planned out weeks and sometimes months in advance. Obviously, we hear trade deadline moves happen, restructurings happening, and it seems really imminent, right? Okay, a week or two before the trade deadline, that's what all the Adam Schefters of the world want you to think, like, okay, now teams are picking up the phone. A move like this is set in place months in advance. Veach and company, this is where he's so good. They plan these things out. I sometimes wonder if they plan them out years, because if you look at the salary cap system right now for the Kansas City Chiefs, they obviously, like the reporter mentioned, they've restructured to free up $5.3 million of salary cap space this year. DeAndre Hopkins' cap number for 2024 is about $4.3 million, give or take. Josh Uche's is about 900 grand, give or take. So you add them up together, you get about $5.3 million. That doesn't happen by accident. They knew Jawan Taylor was a guy on their team who was willing to restructure his deal months ago. They knew guys like Hopkins and Uche with their salary cap hits would be available probably a month ago, maybe even before that, once everyone understood how bad those teams, Patriots and Titans, were going to be. I tell you what, this is stuff that doesn't happen overnight. This isn't something where on a Tuesday you got Veach and company going like, well, I don't know what the heck. Let's restructure Taylor's contract and see if we can get Hopkins in here. That doesn't happen, folks. To be this darn precise, again, I'm going to keep saying it. Jawan Taylor, $5.3 million restructure. Hopkins plus Uche, right about $5.3 million. That takes months of planning. That's understanding not just your environment, but the entire National Football League, understanding multiple teams, their strategies, where they are in their development, targeting certain players, targeting certain teams, understanding what you're going to have to give up. This stuff is so hard, like you alluded to, right? It's not like it's easy. The Chiefs make it look easy. It is incredibly difficult to be this smart, to be this good. And the Chiefs, time after time, put themselves above the pack. Patrick Mahomes is unbelievable. Chris Jones is unbelievable. Andy Reid's an all-time coach. Kelsey's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer, obviously. Jawan Taylor's a really nice player. Has over a 70 PFF pass blocking grade this season, over 80 against the Bucs. Really nice performance. But it's about being smart. That's what wins in the NFL. Obviously, talent has a huge role into that, but smarts, intelligence is the other half. The Patriots dynasty was a perfect mix, except maybe now the Chiefs. There is a chance the Chiefs may actually even be better in that factor. They're absolutely incredible in Kansas City.